Hi, this is Vanessa, and in this video we are making a chunky baby blanket. It's not a normal blanket, it's a photography prop for newborn photography. So let's talk about the materials that you'll need. So I have here Knitter's Pride's US 36 20 millimeters. These are their knitting needles, they're birch, and I will leave a link in the description box for these. You'll need a pair of scissors and some really large wool yarn. So this is DHG, that's Dying House Gallery. This is their giant line of yarn. Okay, so let's get started. You can start with a slip knot, or I'm not going to do that because I don't like the knot. Just place your needle right under here, and I do have a slower tutorial for this. I'll go ahead and leave a link for that. Okay, so you want to cast on 10 stitches. So that's 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I have 10 stitches. I'm going to turn my work and grab my second needle and slide that close to the edge. Don't go all the way past this part right here. This is your first stitch. You want to insert your needle and try to keep it in an X or a T shape, just through this front loop and through the back. Okay, that's what it looks like. You want to grab your yarn, wrap it around your needle, and then pull up the loop, and then you want to slide that off. Okay, so there's your first knitted stitch. Into the very next stitch, same thing, wrap it around. Okay, slide this back and pull up the loop and slide off to the next stitch. Same thing. Okay, so you're just going to repeat that for all 10 stitches. So I find it helpful when you go to pull up your loop to keep your needle touching, your two needles, the tip of this one touching this one. Okay, so sort of like that. Okay, so there's the first row. Turn your work. Okay, so now we're on the wrong side of our work, and we're going to purl this side. See right here, there's bumps. Those are the purl stitches. So you want to work your stitches with your yarn in the front, so on this side. Okay, now you're going to insert your needle through this loop from the right to the left and up like that. Okay, so now you want to wrap your yarn and then pull it down like that and slide it off. Okay, you want to keep your yarn in the front, insert your needle from the right to the left in that front loop, wrap your yarn and pull through towards the bottom and slide off. All right, let me show you that again. So my yarn is in the front. Insert from the right to left through the front loop. Wrap your yarn and pull down the loop and then slide this loop off. Okay. Again. Alright, so now that I'm done with that row, I want to turn my work, okay, and start working on the right side. So you can already see the stitches. Okay, so you're just going to repeat the knitting on the right side of your work all the way across, and then turning your work and purling the wrong side. And you repeat those 2 rounds for as long as you want your work. Okay, so knit all the way across. Okay, so now I'm going to purl this side with your yarn in the front. Okay, so I am ready to cast off. I have about this much yarn left. This was 100 grams for the big ball, and I'm going to now start to cast off. Okay, so to cast off you want to knit 2 stitches. So that's the first and the second stitch. Okay, now you want to grab this first stitch and slide it over and down your needle. Okay, so you're sliding it over this one, and then you continue. So now you're going to knit 1, and then oops, snagged, and then grab this stitch and pull it over, slip it over this one, and then you'll continue that all the way until you're at the other side. Alright, last stitch, and pull through. Okay. So I wanted to show you another way of casting off that might be a little easier. I actually, my bind off was a little too tight because I was holding it really tight. So you can bind off loosely, or you could use a crochet hook, and you can do this with, you know, smaller knitting projects as well. But with larger projects, it's just really awkward to hold tools and stuff for me. So I like to insert my hook in the first one and then yarn over and pull up a loop. Okay, so that would be your first knit stitch basically. Now you see how the knit stitches are like that? I don't want it twisted. I want to insert the hook right from the front to the back, yarn over and pull through and pull through. So it's sort of like a slip stitch in crochet terms. So into the next stitch, okay, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through. and make sure it's loose. So you're basically doing the same thing as binding off, except with the crochet hook, okay? So you want to repeat that, inserting into the next one, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then pull through the one on your hook. Okay, into the next one, yarn over, pull through, and through. And then you just repeat that all the way across. All right, so last one, pull through and through. Okay, so I'm much happier with this bind off because it's looser. I had it really tight in the previous bind off because I'm trying to hold the yarn and trying to make sure it doesn't fall off my table. So I ended up making it really tight. Okay, here's the finished piece. So my stitches are a little tight. You can, if you want it larger, of course you can cast on more stitches, or you can use a larger needle. So this is 20 millimeters, a US 36. There is 25 as well if you want it to make it bigger. So this one is about 15 inches wide and 15 to 16 inches in length. Okay, so depending on how big you want it, you can adjust by either adjusting your needle size, or you can adjust the number of stitches. All right, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for future videos.